Hi guys, it's Heather, the Butterfly Effect plant-based weight loss, and today is Wednesday, and that makes it weigh-in Wednesday, and that's the day that I come on here and I weigh in about anything that's going on in my life, and I let you know how my weight's doing and just share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's a good segue because it's been about 3 weeks since I came on here and I told you that I wasn't doing well, that I had strayed from the path that had served me so well. If any of you don't know me and you're just watching this as your first video, I used to weigh 436 pounds. I got down to my goal weight. I took off 303 pounds or something, got down to my goal weight of 136, excuse me, last October 18th actually. And then I slowly began to have some problems. And so this is the second time since I went on this path that I had a major relapse again. And so yeah, that was 3 weeks ago. The good news is that since those 3 weeks, I have taken off weight week after week for those 3 weeks. So this week I took off an additional 5 pounds, and that means that I've taken off 10 pounds since I came on here and I told you that I was struggling and that I had messed up and that I was getting help. And so I wanted to document for myself. I thought, now that I've taken back off 10 pounds and I'm feeling a little bit more secure on the path, it's been 21 days. I wanted to check in with, kind of record for myself what I did right. What did I do right when I had the relapse? So I'll know what to do the next time it happens. And maybe you are where I was. A lot of people wrote to me and said, me too, I'm struggling, I messed up, I'm afraid to tell anybody, I'm afraid people will be disappointed in me, maybe I'm not done messing up, like I'm kind of enjoying having messed up and I'm enjoying all the, let's face it, I was enjoying the food I was binging on. It was quite fun while it lasted. I just didn't like the consequences. And I was starting to have really bad consequences, not just on the scale, but with my health again, with my knees and feet and back, and all this stuff was coming back. I can even see I got some pimples, I think, from the oil I was eating then. Stuff shows up on me a few weeks later, and so wow, it just all comes back, right? You cannot escape the consequences. So I just wanted to focus on the positive, and this is what I think that I did right, okay? So the first thing that I think I did right was that I admitted to myself and to another person, and eventually to all of you guys, that I was struggling and I was having something that I couldn't get out of on my own. Because for a long time I was lying to myself and I was saying, I know I did a bad thing. I know I'm in a bad pattern again, but I know what to do. I can get out of this on my own. In fact, I'm going to fast tomorrow. It's okay that I ate this thing because I'm going to get right back on my plan tomorrow. And I kept doing that, and I would even be successful for like 2 or 3 days, and then it would get me again. It would get me again because of the, they call it the extinction burst, but basically withdrawal and cravings and detox are awful, and I wouldn't be able to get past the 3 days. I kept having that where I couldn't get past the 3rd day. So once I admitted to this other person who's my accountability partner, it got a lot better immediately. I felt like I wasn't in this alone. I wasn't it took away that arrogance of thinking that I can do everything by myself and that I don't need help. You know, I've been a single mom since my kids were little. I have done almost everything for myself. I bought my own house. Um, I've, you know, I have been doing a lot of things for myself. I pretty much am like that at home too, where I will do like the housekeeping and the yard care and stuff like that, just because I do stuff for myself, you know, and I'm really stubborn about it. So admitting that I needed help was a big first step. My second thing I think I did right was I got a good accountability partner. And what I mean by good is someone who would actually hold me accountable. Because I have a lot of people in my life that are wonderful and loving and kind, and they would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I know you're strong. You'll get back there. You can do it. Hang in there. You know, don't worry about it. Just get right back on plan." And those people are great. I need those people in my life. I need encouragers. I need loving, kind people that are a soft place to fall. I do. But that's not what I needed in that moment. In that moment, I needed somebody who would say to me, "What the hell are you doing? Like, this is not you. This is not how you eat. This is not how you behave. This is not, you've worked way too hard. I'm not going to let you undo everything you've done. I'm not going to let you gain back all the weight and get all those health problems back. I love you too much to let you keep doing what you're doing." And that is what I have. Luckily, I am the luckiest person in the world. I have an accountability partner that will be that honest with me. That is one of the things I love about her the most, is she's very honest, and she has high standards for herself, and she is loving and kind, but she also knows what I can do and holds me accountable to that. And I really appreciate that. So I would tell you, if you're looking for an accountability partner, look for someone like that. And the other thing is, that's a big responsibility to be somebody's accountability partner. Like, I am super grateful to her for, I had to send her photos of all my food. I had to put all my food in Chronometer, you know, like put it all in a food diary basically, and send that to her on a daily basis. I had to check in with her several times. I had a bunch of unusual, several times a day is what I meant to say. I had a bunch of unusual circumstances, like I went out of town 2 times this week. I hardly ever go out of town. I had Mother's Day during this time. So she helped me over all those obstacles. And so anyway, a good accountability partner is worth their weight in gold. And so, you know, if that would be, that's one thing that I did right, or that I got lucky enough to have. The next thing I did right was I went right back to what had worked for me before. And I did not blame the program, okay? I see this a lot. I see people saying, "Well, I couldn't stay on that," or "I gained 50 pounds on a plant-based diet," or, you know, "that didn't work for me," or "I tried that for a couple weeks, it didn't work for me, so now I'm trying keto, so now I'm trying paleo, so now I went low carb, so now I went to Jenny Craig, so now I went to Weight Watchers." And they'll do something for 2-3 weeks or 2 months and have some success, and then they'll find it hard to stay on their plan, and then they'll switch to something else, and they'll hope that it's the program and not them. The thing is, I know that this plan works. I took off 300 pounds doing this. I know that it works. I know that it works for me. Why it stopped working was because I stopped working it. You know, stuff only works if you work it. And so just like when a computer crashes, what do? You boot up in safe mode. You go back to the last thing that worked, right? You go back to where it was that it was working. My program crashed. I went back to what works. I went back to basics. I went back to whole food, plant-based, no sugar, no processed food, no oil, planning my food, doing some other things I'm going to talk about in here. So that was the next thing that I did right. Another thing I am giving myself credit for is I became willing to go through withdrawal and detox again. That was hard. That was hard. The reason I kept bailing out after the third day is I was having a hard time by the third day of being back off, especially sugar and flour. It was hard. It was super hard. And so I had to find that willingness to be willing to go through it, to know it's going to suck and do it anyway, you know, and to have faith that it was going to get better. And it did get better. Thank God. I had to be willing to be super honest with myself and with my accountability partner. For instance, during this 3 weeks, I have messed up. I haven't been perfect. And I had to tell her, you know, and she's not a person that's going to let me off the hook easily. She was, you know, again, why did you do that? You were doing so well. This is not acceptable. Let's get back on track. And that's what I need. That's what I need. But it would have been really honest to say. I mean, it would have been really easy to say, nope, I did fine. No, I didn't eat anything off plan, or, but that wouldn't have helped me. That wouldn't have helped me. And that's exactly what did hurt me before. And also, that's not who I want to be. I don't want to be a big fat liar. I don't want to be big and fat, and I don't want to be a liar. I want to be honest with myself. I want to be honest with my accountability partner. And how can she help me if I'm not honest about when I screw up? So that is something that I give myself credit for, that I was willing to do that. I created the conditions where I could succeed. So what I mean by that is I planned. I planned my food out the night before. I prepared. I went and shopped and got the food, got everything all ready. I avoided places that I had been the scene of the crime before, or that were too tempting. For instance, I ordered my groceries in. I didn't go back to the place where I was buying things that weren't good for me. I took away the means, and what I mean by that is I took away the money. You know, I packed what I needed for the day, and then I didn't take any money with me so that I could not mess up even if I wanted to. And I got social support. I am so lucky. I had people calling me. I had Chef AJ calling me, coming to my rescue. I had all kinds of people reach out to me. That was wonderful. And the thing is, if I wouldn't have admitted I was struggling, I wouldn't have gotten that support. So thank you to all the wonderful people who gave me what I needed, especially Chef AJ calling me all the time, and the cards, the notes, the love, the prayers. People have been praying for me. Thank you. Thank you for all of that. That's something that I did right. And it's something that you have to be humble and ask for, or you're not going to get. You know, it says right in the Bible, you have not because you ask not. Okay, and so finally, my last one was that I was persistent until I could be consistent. So what I mean by that is I went through a few days, even after I started getting help, where I would do good for a couple days and then I would stumble. And now I could have just said, I stumbled again, or, you know, all bets are off. I'm off my plan. I'm going to go back to eating, or I'm just going to tell my accountability partner that it's hopeless and I'm not going to do this. But I wasn't. I was persistent. And, you know, you fall down, you get back up again, dust yourself off, try again. You don't just lay in the dirt and cry. And so that persistence, I think, really paid off. And then I was consistent. So consistent, just having the same kinds of meals every single day, being really consistent with writing it down, being really consistent with taking pictures of it, to being really consistent with avoiding temptation and situations that I couldn't handle yet. So those are my 7 things that I think that I did right this time. I'm 10 pounds down from where I was. I'm feeling a lot stronger. I'm not getting cocky. I'm gonna keep on doing these things. There's no point in knowing what to do if you're not going to do it. Put it into practice. So if you are struggling and you need help, I really hope that you will reach out to someone that you love, someone that you trust, and just hang in there. Hang in there. It does get better. It does, and you can do this. You can totally do this. If I could do it and take off 300 pounds, you can do it. We can do this together. And I love you guys. Have a great week.